Yeah, she stripped. Well, getting ready for Hednesford. If you remember in an earlier video, I said you have to change gear in from the smaller track to the bigger track. So yeah, gearbox is drained. Got asked the other day to do a tutorial on changing the gear in. So let's have a go. I'll get you on a stand, plonk you there, and I'll run through it. First thing, drain the oil out. That's done. I've got diff pans with a little bung in them, so it's easy enough to undo the bung, oil comes out. Simple, right. Second thing, these two bolts here, I undo, not all the way, smidge, just so enough room to pull the cluster out from here. So we've got a little cut out in the chassis here, so it's easy enough to pull it out. Next thing, 4 11mm bolts, top of selector. 1, 2, 3. There's one over here somewhere as well. 4. I've got cables. I will need to ping them off of here. They just unclip. Easy as that. So they're loose. So I've just got them 4 bolts to undo on here. Like magic, selector is out of the way, and this pipe's in the way. There's a little gap there from where I've dropped the gearbox. So this is where we're at now. This is your cluster. This is your diff crown. I call it diff crown, people call it different things. Call it whatever you want really, it's what holds your diff in. There's a little bracket here, a little clamp, 10mm bolt there. That's what will come off next. And then we're looking at these 13mm bolts which go around the cluster. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, 2 this side, and 3 this side. You do not need to worry about the 2 in the middles on the cluster. This is your 5th gear plate. So you don't need to worry about the 4 that's in the middle. Just 3 down this side, 2 this side, 2 at the bottom, and 2 at the top. So next job, yeah, we'll get them out. Two at the bottom. I need to lower the gearbox a little bit more. Right, we're on there. 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. 2 this side. Also, if you're going from a 4-speed gearbox, do not use these long bolts. Just use the normal emmets, which are the 2 bottom and 2 top. Oh, get to that. There am I. There you have. Right, that's 13 done. Quickly do that 10 on here too. See that, straighten that oil on the floor then. Right, give this one here, there's a little, can't feel the life of me think what it's called now. Right, she's free. Hands underneath it, pull it. It's stuck on that bloody gear. That's the room to pull the cluster out. So you look inside there now. You've got your crown wheel, which is just here. Should have done that, all over the floor now. This is your crown wheel. And obviously that's sitting on your diff. Yeah, everything looks good. Need a new gasket. I'll have to speak to second gear and get a nice gasket from them. Always good second gear. You know they are by now. If you don't, you should do. Gaskets, tools, gearing bits. He's your man. Also me. This is your gear cluster. This is either what we call in the racing 196, 213, 214. anything like that. This is a 196. This is your pinion, final drive gear. Yeah, that's the changeable bit. Some F17 stuff is not changeable. All F13 stuff is changeable. Some late F13s we change this little spacer under here. You can just see it's got a groove there. Normally put a little screwdriver or chisel in there, tap it. And for the late F43s and the 41s, you get a little spacer, but the pinion's bigger, so that sits in the same place. So yeah, we're going to take that off, changing that to a 3.5 for Hednesford. Also, you have to change the crown wheel that's on the diff. So I'll have to take the diff pan off, which is 11mm bolts go around, hold on. You have to take the crown off, the diff crown, with a special tool from second gear. And you will have to change the diff pan gasket as well, which is also from, yep, you guessed it, second gear. Gaskets, tools, the lot. So, changing the pinion. Circlip pliers. Get your little circlip pliers and circlip on top. Squeeze it. That spring off. That never comes off that easy, but just for the video. So, sometimes you can pull these off. That one ain't. So do you know what I need? You guessed it. A gear puller from second gear. Now I have one of the OGs. Still use it. Still works perfectly fine. Strip some mini of the gearboxes. Slides on over like that. Probably that's fine. Sometimes you've got to wiggle them and give them a little wiggle. But that's on. Screw it down. You can see in here this bolt pushes on the main shaft and the puller sits underneath the pinion like that. Then you get 19 on that one, I think. Straighten the gun. Put it up. Easy as that. You can get your gear puller from second gear. So we've got the old pinion off, 3.9. This pinion going on. A lot of people say, are these sided? What way do you put them on? If you look on there, they're not flat. They're angled. This side's flat. So you'll see this, I think it's Sharpford. That side goes on first. And it's the same for the crown wheel as well. Sometimes you can just push them on, if not, get a big socket and a hammer. Knock it on. Like so. Get your circlip and your circlip pliers. Might damage the end cap then, but I shouldn't have done. Circlip pliers on like that. Let's go back to circlip pliers, easier. Push it way down. There we go. There's one pinion changed. To remove the 11mm bolts under here, I'm sure last time I done it I left the mount on. Got a spanner under that one there, but the rest of the bolts I can get to quite easily. And here we go. All the bolts out. Slide it down. This is where I look for all the metal shavings. So yeah, right, going back to this diff tool. This is one of the OGs. Still got it. That's taken a lot of diff pans off, and it's still good condition. So, do you use a gun or do you use a ratchet? Well, it's up to you. I've always used a gun, but it's my own car. It's not a gearbox I'm stripping, so we're going to loosen it off with the ratchet. If it's just a gearbox I'm stripping, then yeah, I'll wham the gun in there. But as it's my own racing one. And there, pull that out. And there we have one diff. Right, so this is where we're at. Empty gearbox casing. Nothing in there. I have swapped over the crown wheel already. That's done. So, first thing now, get the diff in. That goes in first with the diff crown on the side of it. I'll show you how to do that. Then we get the gaskets on, then the cluster, then the diff pan. Let's get it done. Hi. So, one diff. Goes, it's pretty obvious what way it goes because the diff is here, is shaped sort of like that, going up that way. So you can't get it the wrong way around. Multi-purpose grease. I like to, let's push it down. I like to put a bit on top of here and on the other bearing as well. Try and pack it in. You're probably telling me you don't want to do that, but I've always done it, and it's, yeah, no reason why you can't do it, I don't suppose. But that's what I've always done. I'll get some on that side. Maybe, I don't know actually. So these are taper roller bearings. You don't need to do the diff crown up mega tight, just so, as I said before, just so there's no movement in it. There we go. Hold the diff from the bottom, and then that should wind that in a bit. There we go. Okay, right, that's in. That's your movement you don't want. Get the diff tool. And then wrong way. Nope. 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 There you go. And if you are brave, you can do it with a gun. I might be there already. I'll bring you around here, you can see then. Right. So, there's no movement in it that way, sideways, but there's also, it's not spinning free. So, tool back on and just crack it off a little bit until we can feel a little bit of play, but already they're spinning freely. There's no play in it. Still no play. I've got a little bit of play there now. Right, nip it up a little bit more. No play. Which is good. And that's how you tighten the diff up. So, next is this little fella. Little 10mm bolt. Holds the diff crown in. It doesn't hold it in as such, just, don't know what it does. Stops it from moving, I suppose. That's it. You've been gasket on, done. Like that, it's on. I didn't quite realise this phone thing had stopped recording. But yeah, 2 bolts here, 2 bolts at the top, 2 bolts here, and you've got 3 bolts down the side there to do up. Push it in, it can be a bit of a pig. I normally put a CV joint in the gearbox here. Get it on as far as you can, you'll feel a bit of resistance, then just twist the CV joint a little bit and that will go. Just where the crown wheel and the pinion's not lined up properly. But yeah, that's where we're up to. Done. So there you go. Hope you've found this helpful. Probably not the easiest way to just show you how it's done as it's in the car, but obviously could be if you're going to do it in the car. So now it's just reverse. Put the selector on, gaskets, 4 bolts, then line up what you've got. If you've got rods or you've got cables, go from there. So I'm going to crack on now, put the new suspension on the front, got new shocks, same springs, just new shocks. Give the car a bit of a tidy up after the last meeting's rubbing, I should say. Put the front bumper off at the minute so it's still being painted. Can't see in the sunlight. There's some paint on the side. Skirt needs tidying up. And that bit there. But yeah, other than that. Oil. Should have a service as well. I'm a meeting overdue. Normally do it every 3 meetings, but we've done 4 meetings now. 5 meetings. 5 meetings. So oil change, new plugs, just general clean up, service, and got to push it at Hednesford. Not really where I want to be. This point of the year, I want it to be a bit higher, but come from the back, it's hard. As you can see in the videos, and Aldershot was crap again. I don't like Aldershot. But no, we're going to have good Hednesford, we're going to have good Ipswich, and then we've got World Final. See you next one.